Morning. Thank you very much for joining us here on TNT, our Saturday morning program. And I've just had such a busy week. It's sort of nice just to be sitting down and relaxing with you for the next, well, probably hour or so. We've got a lot to get through. Let's just say hello to all the people that are here, and hopefully you can see and hear me okay. Everything seems to be all right this end. And hello to Interconnected WW. We've got Thomas Hamilton, pizza in the oven with a cold beer. Thomas Hamilton, he's in North California. John D from Melbourne, Australia. Sawadi Club from Brisbane, Australia. We've got Street Glide from Vancouver, British Columbia. I think that is in Canada. Bill G from here in Thailand, Nakhon Nayok. Kay Watkins, currently in Singapore for the Grand Prix, and looking forward to a holiday in Samui. So welcome when you get here. Missing Thailand greatly, says Thug Life. Teddy Bear says good morning from Sri Lanka. Another international program. Of course, we've got Scott D online. I think Scott D just stays online with Tim Newton today and doesn't do anything else. How do you make money? Good morning, Car, says Athena Sword. And we've got good morning, everyone. Let's press the thumbs up. That's from Durian. And look, there's a lot of other people. I can spend the whole life reading out all the hellos. Darren M says, smash that like button. Don't smash it. Just tap it lightly. That would be okay. Big news out of Thailand yesterday. Let's get this one out of the way. We can see how it's been reported across some of the media. Bangkok Post, Pita resigns as the Move Forward Party leader. Reuters, Thailand's Pita quits as leader of election-winning party after failed PM bid. Al Jazeera saying Pita Limjareonrat, the leader of the Thailand Move Forward Party, resigns. CNA blocked Thai PM challenger. Pita resigns as party leader. And Nikkei Asia, Thailand's Pita resigns as the Move Forward Party leader. I think a lot of people could read a lot into this, but there's something quite fundamental behind it. Let's go to some of this reporting. Reuters saying Thailand's Pita quits as leader. We've done that headline. And he resigned yesterday as leader of the Progressive Move Forward Party, months after delivering a stunning electoral victory on an anti-establishment reform agenda that threatened to upend the political status quo. Move Forward now represents the bulk of the parliamentary opposition, but will retain, 161 seats. But will retain significant political clout, having won the majority of seats in and around the capital Bangkok, 32 out of the 33 districts. Yeah, taken over key urban centres and some conservative strongholds. The charismatic Pita has led pre-election opinion polls as Thailand's top choice for Prime Minister, but faced a host of legal and legislative challenges that he maintains were orchestrated to keep him out of power. Now, the Bangkok Post sort of digging a bit further into what's going on here. Pita resigned as the Move Forward Party leader. He was included on the Time 100 Next list of young global leaders to watch. He conveyed his resignation message via his Facebook page on Friday. Addressing it to all Move Forward Party members, he said that he cannot accept the position of opposition leader due to his suspension by the Constitutional Court from performing his duties as an MP. So that case is still pending with the Constitutional Court. So he's been suspended as an MP, so he basically can't perform as the opposition leader. So he hasn't sort of packed up his bats and gone home. He's just saying, well, look, I fundamentally can't continue in that role. Be assured, we haven't seen the last of Pita Limjareonrat. I confidently predict that he will be Prime Minister at some stage. It may take another 3.5 years to get there, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be a Prime Minister of Thailand one day. So that story, I suppose, leading the headlines. Let's see what people are saying. Chilled out on Lantau. Hi from Hong Kong. A question for Tim. We'll get to those in just a moment. Anybody reacting to that story? We've got some other questions coming in. Nobody gives a shit about that particular story. Well, there you go. I reported it anyway. I think it's quite a big story. It's certainly filling up a lot of Thai social media at the moment. I thought what we might do is I've got some questions coming in here, and very grateful to everybody that's joined in. I hope you've got one of these. I just noticed that it matches my shirt. That's nice, isn't it? And the cleaner's just arrived, so expect some vacuum cleaner noise at some stage. The cats haven't been fed, so they could turn up at any time. It's all go here in the Newton household here in Koh Kao. Only another week? I can't quite remember the date. I think, we're moving next Saturday or Sunday. So I'm not sure what's going to be happening with live programs next week, but only one more week left here as a resident in Phuket after 12 and a half years. We had some questions come in from people during the week. Let's just go to some of those. These are, I haven't checked these out at all. Whoops, I better go back. Good morning, Tim. Have a great day. Enjoy Turtle Beach life. Turtle Beach, Thai Mueang Beach is where I'm headed. A wonderful place to live. Awaiting another weekend with you and also on Sunday with Steve. Well, thank you very much for all that. I've been watching you for a few years now, and you've never mentioned if you were a fan of sports. If you are, which teams do you follow? Well, yes, I am a fan of sports. The sports I've participated in actively were sailing, very actively and very expensively over the years. I've been a great follower of Australian rules football for all of my life, less so in recent years. So my team, Australian people are waiting for my answer, is Collingwood. I've been a Collingwood Magpies supporter for a long time, and I used to follow them pretty much actively, listen to the games. There were some really good game callers on a station called 3AW where I sort of worked years and years and years ago, and I used to almost enjoy their commentary as much as the game. In fact, I'd put their commentary, the radio commentary, on and then watch it on TV and turn the volume down. So yeah, I really enjoyed it from all sorts of angles. I also loved watching tennis, more so in the past than now. All these sort of back rallies from the back of the court, just thump, thump, thump. They're sort of boring as batshit for me. I used to enjoy the Borg McEnroe matches, and that's the sort of era that I've got fond memories of. Some of Jimmy Connors and some of the Chris Evert, Martina Navratilova, Yvonne Goolagong from Australia. So was a great tennis fan. As I said, less so in the now than in the past. So that's answering that one. I have to answer these much quicker. Hi Tim, just wondering, given that Phuket is host to a lot of our Russian friends, currently in demand, high on stay hotels and yacht hire, are prices inflated or average, and when will high season commence? Well, high season usually starts in this part of the world late November into December. That's certainly when the prices start going up. At the moment, things like hotel rooms are not necessarily inflated. I wouldn't have thought they will start going up in December. They always do for high season. And the same will happen with the air flights. Airfares at the moment still quite high. I noticed. I was trying to book the other day. No, I think rentals are now and have been particularly expensive. And that really started at the start of this year when we had that huge surge of Russian arrivals. That's dropping off slowly at the moment, and the rental prices have been coming down, but they again will sort of shoot up during the high season. Hope that answers your question. Timo says, question, is it by any means true that Police General Big Joke's nickname is actually Surajat Hakpan? Ha ha ha. Yeah, oh, good on you. Scott Johnson, hi Tim, I'm travelling to Thailand in October. During my last trip I stayed in Phuket for a short while. While there I ran into a few inebriated Russian tourists, no problem with that. However, they wanted to start arguments about the war in Ukraine. I'm from the US and I realised the US had been in its fair share of conflicts, but I believe the war in Ukraine certainly didn't start with us. It got so bad I quit telling them I was from the US, instead telling them I was from Canada. I get that. Look, if people want to engage in conversations you don't want to be involved in, just say, oh, hi, I'm sorry, I've got to go. I've got to get my fingernails manicured or something. and just walk away. I mean, I wouldn't complain about being dragged into conversations. You're volunteering to be dragged into those conversations, or just tell people, I'm sorry, I simply don't want to talk about that. Be quite firm about it. Smile while you say it, and change the conversation. That's what I'd be doing anyway. And what happened? Oh, two questions here from 5 and Juro. What happened to any news noise on the 90-day visa waivers? A lot of people's winter plans are hinging on this. Yeah, they were sort of throwing around a loose idea of extending the tourist visas for countries other than just China. In the end, the change really resulted in, for now anyway, China and Kazakhstan are being offered visa waivers, which 68 countries were previously offered. Now China and Kazakhstan have been given visa waivers for 5 months as a trial. They're trying to increase tourism from those two countries. Kazakhstanis have been big contributors to the tourist industry this year. They've been in the top 5 of visitations to Phuket for most of this year. Quite stunningly, I think at one stage they were the second most popular nationality visiting the island, sort of around about, I don't know, March or April this year. So, yeah, no news about extending those those tourist visas from 30 days or whatever you get in your country currently. So no good news there. Let's go to some of your comments. Montreal reporting in, just scrolling back, making sure I haven't missed anything. Chiang Mai is foggy and wet this morning, says Athena Sword. And, well, it's wet and soggy here in Phuket, although the rain's cleared up a little bit. Vince Majestic, wow, over 26,000 subs. Well done. Thank you very much for that. You've been involved in giving me that result. Watching from Chiang Mai, I did have some questions here. Oh, why is it doing that? Sorry, just trying to get rid of that message. What if I click over here? That gets rid of it. Now scrolling down. Sorry, just a bit of a technical issue. Smash the like button. I did see some questions here. Question from Anthony Mitchell. I'm in Thailand. How can I send 5,000 baht to England? Well, you can do it via a bank transfer. I think, is it Wise? Wise, I believe, is fairly popular. I'm no expert in this, but I think I'm sure other people will comment below, Anthony, and give you some ideas on that. But sending money from Thailand back to other countries, I'm no expert, but I believe an app, I think, or a software called Wise, W-I-S-E. I think that's how it's spelled. Anyway, I'm sure people in the comment section will tell you. I'm sorry, I'm no expert in that. Question from Athena Sword that just disappeared, as they do. Question for Tim. What do you think will be the effect on Thailand if Torsak Sakvimok becomes the new... Torsak becomes the new National Police Chief? Well, he's certainly the hot tip. I don't think anything's going to happen. He's been in the job for many years as deputy. He knows the role. He's only got 1 year to serve before he has to retire, and I think that's when we'll see the ascension of another deputy police commissioner, Superchats Hakpan, take the reins of the top job. But I don't think there's going to be any effects that you'd notice. He'll start off with a sort of a hard edge, saying he's going to crack down on crime and corruption, all saying all the right things. But I don't think we're going to notice any fundamental differences, Athena. Thank you for the question. I'm not a leader to watch. Okay, thank you, Bill. Some of these comments I just don't understand because I'm not following the thread. Thinking of having a few beers, says Sinbad. I think if you're thinking about it, by now you're probably doing it. Good morning, Tim. Was it difficult to start up your YouTube channel? This is from Martin Fabiano. Does it bring you satisfaction economically and emotionally? Have a great day and weekend. Oh, well, look, I could spend a few hours on this topic. Well, after I finished with the Tiger and I walked away from over 100,000 subs on that particular channel. And I thought, well, I know how to sort of work YouTube. I don't know much else in my life. I'm not particularly clever. What can I do? I understand the news cycle in Thailand. So I thought I'll give it a go. I really had no idea if I'd get 100 subs, 100,000. Well, that was, not really in my thinking. In my mind, I was thinking maybe over a couple of years I could get 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers. I'm now very lucky, just after a year doing this, to have just over 26,000 subscribers. This week's been mad. I think I've got about 500 new subscribers this week, for which I'm very, very grateful. It's a very... was it difficult? Yes, it was difficult, but I got a bit of a head start from people like Pete from Irish Times and a few other kind YouTubers that did an interview with me at the very start, and that sort of kicked me along and allowed people to discover that I'd gone out and started my own YouTube channel. A satisfaction economically? Not really. Look, it keeps me in crazy shirts. 140 baht on Lazada. But look, you probably couldn't survive. Even at this stage, you would be difficult to survive living in Thailand. It certainly wouldn't be a living wage in a Western country. But it's slowly going up. I'm not going to give you the exact numbers because it's really none of your business. Emotionally, no. It usually gives me more stress than anything, although I do enjoy doing the program. But if you're going to do the program, you're going to have to cope with the comment sections. And some of the commenters are just straight out nasty. I don't mind people disagreeing with me, don't mind people correcting me, I don't mind people saying that my facts are incorrect. That's all fine. Particularly when you're doing news, you want to make sure you've got your facts right. And that's important. Because if you don't have integrity, if you don't acknowledge your mistakes, then no one's going to trust you. However, some of the commenters are just straight out nasty and they just want to pull you down. Maybe it makes them feel good. I don't know. However, I used to sort of go into battle with them. Now I don't. I just hide them. I just block them. I don't even think twice about it. As I said, I don't mind if people disagree with me. I don't mind if you insult me. But when it starts getting personal and nasty, then you're gone. I just don't even bother spending 2 seconds even thinking about it. Hopefully that was a good answer. I don't know. Just made it up as I went. I can see Peter as an international leader, maybe foreign rep, says Gringo Puppy. Yeah, look, I think we're going to hear obviously less of Peter in coming months, maybe even years. I am trying to organise an interview with him. Maybe he's got a bit more spare time now, but he would be a fascinating interview. He speaks good English, great English, better than me. And I'd be very happy if I was able to score maybe half an hour with him to just get a bit of an inside perspective and the way that he sees the world from Thailand looking outside, which I think would be interesting to us. I feel bad for Peter, says Jen Go. But look, I'm sure we're going to see more of him in the future. He is clearly a bit of a star. He's got charisma. He's got a great attitude. Maybe, if I'm just being brutally honest, he might have just gone a bit too far, a bit too fast for generally a fairly conservative Thai public. Having said that, he did garner 38%, or his party and their constituents, their MPs, garnered 38% of the primary vote. And that was a remarkable result in a field of many parties. For any one party in Thailand now to get over 50% of the vote and get a clear majority in the lower house is almost unheard of. It just is very, very difficult to contemplate given that there are so many political parties. Pulling 38% was remarkable. They came from literally nowhere. So we are going to hear more about them. I think if they held another vote today, maybe they'd even pull in that 50% of the vote plus one. I don't know. I like the shirt, Tim, says Mr. Mitch. 140 baht Lazada. Colour coordination with the wall as well. Oh, a bit of blue in here, but yeah, usually blue and green should never be seen. Isn't that the rule? But I wasn't going to paint the wall just to match the shirt today. But thank you very much. Vacuums and hungry cats. It's on, baby. Yes, probably UN or ASEAN. I'm not sure. Hit the like button, says Norman Brown. Thank you very much, Norman. Appreciate the sentiment. And it would be great if people went and did that. The Move Forward Party will not be allowed to change any part of the running of the government. The military junta will not let this happen for obvious reasons, says Tim Johnson. Now, that's an interesting comment, Tim. I would say, reading the tea leaves, that the army have been very quiet over the past 3 or 4 months as the MPs in the lower house and the Senate have tried to cobble together a new parliament. And given what the current head of the army has said over the past year consistently, and given his complete lack of comments over the past 3 or 4 months, and the general reportage by Thai media, I think we may, oh God, this is a confident prediction, have seen the end of army coups in Thailand. For the time being anyway. I mean, at the moment we've got remnants of the past junta in the coalition government. Now, if this government can continue to perform and they can continue to work together, there's going to be no reason for an army to have a coup, given that they've got key generals actually in the government and certainly in the Senate. Now, come a new Senate election next March, there might be some rumblings. But I've just got a feeling, as I said, reading the tea leaves, and maybe I'm being over-optimistic, but I think we may have turned a corner, and that's a whole lot of things in play there. But history doesn't necessarily have to repeat itself. And I don't think Thailand in 2023 or the citizenry are as glued to the army as they were in the past. I'm sure you'll disagree with me. John Freeney says, all the best to Pita and looking forward to the day he'll be PM, as many are. John, I think that may happen at some stage in the future. He's learned a lot through this process, there's no doubt. And he would have grown. And you need a few defeats to become a great leader. And many of the world's great leaders have had many defeats before they eventually get that top job, and they learn along the way. Chef Leonardo from Bangkok says, hi Tim, hello to you. As one famous cricketer commentator once said, the bowler's holding the batsman's willy. Again, I've missed the context of that, but thank you for that information. You preferred the tantrums rather than the tennis, says Thug Life. This is in relation to me talking about John McEnroe. Look, I didn't really like his behaviour. I certainly understood it. I think, I might be wrong, but I believe that John McEnroe and I share a birthday. If not the actual birthday, I think we actually share the same year of birth, just from memory. But I used to look past his tantrums because he was a wizard with a tennis racket. He wasn't a particularly graceful player, but wow, he could just control that ball. Very unorthodox player, unorthodox attitude. But yeah, and I've grown to really like the guy as he's become a commentator over the years, and I found him very entertaining. What did I think Jimmy Connors was one day, no, he was playing Jimmy Connors, and the commentator said, oh, that guy could play with a broom and still win. Now, he was sort of right, because he was quite a whiz with the tennis racket. Okay, let's go into more of this. I stopped watching The Tiger as soon as Tim left because I only liked Tim's input. Thank you very much to Richard Woolley. I'm sure they're still doing a wonderful job. I have not watched 1 second of what's happening on their YouTube channel, but I'm sure they're doing very, very well. Richard White says, hi Tim, is Lisa's contract status big news in Thailand? Funny you should ask, because I'm going to get to that. And it is indeed a big story. Let's have a talk about it. We go to Forbes magazine. Blackpink member Lisa flexes her power amid contract negotiations. Some of you are wondering, who the hell is Lisa? Lisa Monoban is the Thai member of the K-pop group Blackpink, who are hugely popular. Easily the biggest girl band in the world at the moment, following the footsteps of the biggest band over 20, 21, 22, 23, which was BTS, also out of Korea. They were getting 2, 3, 4 top 100 hits on the Billboard Hot 100 for in a year, measuring records held by people like the Beatles in the past. But now it's Blackpink's term, and Lisa has said, don't think I'm going to re-sign. Usually a lot of these K-pop stars have a 7-year contract. Let's see what happened. Blackpink's one of the most popular and successful vocal groups in the world right now. Now the negotiations, which are rumoured to not be going well, may be responsible for the company's dropping stock price. It dropped 9% yesterday. It's been reported that Blackpink singer Lisa, one of the 4 members of the band, along with Jisoo, Jenny and Rose, has declined several offers to renew her contract with YG Entertainment. BangkokPost.com, Lisa reportedly turns down a new $40 million contract. And top K-pop stars are reported to earn around $1 million a year in base salary under the terms of the contracts. Buriram-born Lisa, who's 26, is said to have a net worth of around $25 million from her performance earnings. And the news that Blackpink's 4 stars might be shopping around for a new home comes as Blackpink wraps up its Born Pink World Tour. And the final tours will be Saturday and Sunday in Seoul, in South Korea. So good luck to Lisa in her negotiations. Is she walking away from the band? If so, where does that leave the other members? Are they going to bring in another 4th member, or are they going to disband? Many K-pop groups disband after their contracts finish. The 7 years, BTS, the band I just mentioned, they re-signed for another 7 years and are now going through that phase of all the male members having to serve their conscription time of nearly 2 years with the South Korean army. So, walking away from a $40 million contract. Pretty hard on the girls and their personal life and on their families in that sort of K-pop bubble. I wouldn't blame her from walking away, but the shares dropped in YG Entertainment because Blackpink is their biggest money earner. So thank you very much for asking the question. We really appreciate you, Tim. The program is always great. Oh, Corey, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And cheers to you. Pita is the future, says Bill Ellis. I know in the headline and today I also mentioned 3 people, 2 people quitting and another person who's been suspended. We'll get to that story soon as well. Richard Townsend, would be great if you could get an interview with Pita. Best of luck, hope it happens. Very difficult to get through all the publicists and the minders to these Thai politicians, especially when you're from overseas and you've only got a small YouTube channel. Hard to sort of pass muster. I'll do my best though and see how we go. Let's hear about Lisa. I hope I answered your question. The young people don't stand for the royal anthem in cinemas anymore. Bill, that's interesting. Going to the cinema recently, I suppose twice in the last month, no one stood up during the royal anthem at all. I don't stand up if the others don't stand up. If everybody stands up, I'll stand up because I really don't want to be the only person sitting down. And I have no reason to make any political comment about that particular issue. So I just sort of follow the crowd in that regard, but nobody's standing up at the moment. Teddy Bear, maybe they need a leader now to lead the parliamentary group. He might come back later. Yeah, when I think it's likely that his charges will be thrown out by the Constitutional Court, he'll be reinstated as an MP. Will he return to leadership of the party? I don't know. but that may indeed happen. Peter went to school at Harvard, says D. Sandy. Yep, that's right. His English is better than mine, Carr, says Athena Sword. Yes, his English is very good. Brett Drinkwater, the red and black shirt from during the week was a beauty. 140 baht as well. Where is it? Oh, it's in the car. Because I wore it yesterday for... Oh, you're speaking about that shirt over there, which I can't quite reach. Because after I finish the show, I take them off so I don't sweat all over them. And I just put a T-shirt on whilst I'm editing. And then I just leave the shirt. I've actually got about 5 shirts I've worn this week dangled over the chairs, which I haven't cleared up. Because I've been rushing out and heading up to Thai Mueang, where, can I just say this for a moment, I've opened my first beach house. Can I tell you about it? Just for a moment. Won't take long. Here it is. This is the Airbnb listing. Just happened to have it on the computer ready to show you. And it's called Bonneville. The reason it's called Bonneville, which will become very apparent when you arrive. That's the front room. It looks out, you can see just in the distance there. Well, it's only 60 metres away. You can see the water. So just over the road from the beach. And can I zoom in? Oh, what happened there? Oh no, that's the guidebook. So now I can't find the listing. Here we go. So if I go there, can I click on that? Does this work? Oh, there we go. So that painting there that's a painting at the Bonneville Salt Flats. And it's a Jack Vetriano painting. So that's why it's called Bonneville, just because of that painting. But a big widescreen TV. We've got a brand new kitchen and bedrooms. The bedrooms are not big. I mean, this is an old fisherman's cottage, which I've converted into a beach house. Thanks for the super chats. I'll get to those in just a moment. Really appreciate it. Yeah, the bedrooms weren't sort of designed for Airbnb customers at the time. They're about 3.6 by 3.6 metres. What's that, about 11 or 12 feet square? So they're not big. They don't have windows. But as I said, I didn't design the house as an Airbnb. It's been converted from an old fisherman's cottage. It's got its own office. So very nice, comfy little workstation there. High-speed Wi-Fi. And we've got a dining area. Got some more paintings up on the wall now. So yeah, it's a funny little play. Well, it's 120, 130 square metres. Huge bathroom. In fact, the bathroom's larger than the bedrooms. Don't ask me why. And there's another shot of the bathroom and the backyard, which we've done a lot of work in. And it's about 11 metres wide. And yeah, it's a huge backyard. And I hope you get the opportunity anyway to visit. There's a link in the description if you want to click on the Airbnb link and read more about it. But I'm very proud, very happy the way it's come up. We started with this, completely run down, untouched for about 30 years, old fisherman's cottage. And it had been painted in bits of blue and purple and pink. And there was termites in the roof. It was a complete mess, but we've done a lot of work. In all, now you might think I've spent like a lot of money. Well, it is a lot of money in Thai terms. I was so lucky to find an excellent local Thai contractor who's been able to do just about everything there. And so, yeah, we're putting the air conditioning, all the paint, probably bought 3 or 4 key pieces of furniture, including like the new umbrella, including a new stainless steel barbecue. But overall, I haven't spent any more than 6 figures. In fact, it's probably been about 300,000 baht. Given the huge amount of work we've done, I think we've done very well in keeping the expenditure down. So there you go. Let's go on to some more comments. I went to Harvard also, says Kuzi Jack. Well, somebody had to deliver the pizza. Mr. Chai, 33, Thai PM will go to UN next week and talk to the CEO of Tesla, Google and Microsoft. Do you think if they will like investing more in Thailand? Well, this is the new Prime Minister, Sita Tawisin. Yes, I heard that he was visiting the UN and meeting some of these people. Yeah, I suppose he's going to be talking up Thailand at the moment and inviting them to do some more investment. That would be his intention, and I'm sure a lot of preparations for those conversations have already begun. I don't really know much more than that. Let's see what happens, and I'll certainly report if any news comes out of his visit to the UN. Tim buys his shirts at Dan Flash's, says Bill Ellis. No, I don't. I buy them from Lazada. A nondescript store. I can't even remember the name of the store. Maybe I should just put a link up on the Lazada channel and you can go from there. Sort of like the shirts. They're a little bit different, a little bit sort of Asian, and they're nice. Very, very light material and very cool. At least there won't be red shirt, yellow shirt demos for some time, says Teddy Bear. You're absolutely right. I think we've seen the end of the red shirt and yellow shirt days here in Thailand. Pretty positive about that. KJ says the operative phrase being in the government, as long as they have some power, there's no need for another coup. There you go. Must be Aussie commentators, tall poppy syndrome, says Stephen Jonas. Must be, I'm not sure what that refers to, but thank you very much. Now, there were a couple of super chats I'd like to address, and I really appreciate it when people feel inclined to dip into their pocket and support the channel. Oh, huge glass windows going past. Some house having a bit of a renovation up the road. Scott D, thank you very much. And Scott says, hello from Chicago. Hit the like button, everyone. Scott, thank you very much for your ongoing support of the channel. Daryl McGee, also from Australia, says, for another Lazada shirt. I haven't done the conversion, but I think, yeah, I can buy one. Thank you very much. I will. I do like the shirts, as I said. So it's easy enough to find the place I bought them from. I'll put a link in the description sometime during the week. Thank you, Daryl. Really appreciate it. And Brett Border, who's from Canada, a message has been retracted. So, Brett, thank you for your support, and sorry I didn't get to read your message. And Hans Schellenberg from the United States in Redwood, California, from memory. Will the rental house come with cats? Well, there's a common backyard that will be shared with the host, and the host has a couple of cats. From time to time, those cats will be in the backyard, and but I've told people in the description, if you don't like cats, tell me, and I'll just keep the cats inside. So, yeah, you might see a cat from time to time, unless you say to me, Tim, get those cats away. I don't want to see them. Thank you very much, everybody, for your super chats. It's much appreciated. It would be nice if you had a vintage Pontiac Bonneville parked in front. Well, I've only been able to go as far as a 1983 pale blue Mercedes, which I will get a photo of the Mercedes in front of the beach houses very, very soon. In the early days, we've got two beach houses next to each other. I'm renting one, the one called Bonneville, and the other one I'm going to be living in as the host. But I've got a few other things sort of on the drawing board, and we'll see how they pan out over the next few months. The reason I can't take a photo at the moment is the lady in the house 2 doors down. She was the grandmother of the family. Very inconveniently, she died. And when Thais do funerals, boy, do they do funerals. So I've got a tent, a big marquee, set up right across the front of my house, down the street. It's about 100 metres long. And, yeah, they've got loud music playing. They get shit-faced drunk at night time. There's people turning up in droves during the day. Big signs in the town about the lady's sad passing, inviting people to drop in, and they do, and there's food laid out, and it's huge. So that goes on for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 days. So, yeah, I can't really do much as far as taking photos from outside, the beach houses at the moment, but that's the way that they do commemorate the passing of one of their relatives. And I have been down to the family at the house and offered my condolences for her passing. I think I was saying to Steve yesterday when we were recording Grumpy Old Men, said you can get away with murder at a Thai funeral, and that's just about right. Brett Border just wrote back and says, thanks, Tim. Technical difficulties, but love to support you. Brett, thank you very much for going to the trouble of getting back to us. If you've got any questions or comments, I'll be happy to pass them on. But J.R. Lindstrom says, hi, Tim. Do you have bikes to rent or any to rent near the house? How long from Steve's house? I knew somebody would be asking that. Is your place? Is it within reach for a day trip on bike? Thanks for your channel to follow you every day. We've got push bikes, treadleys. We've got 2 of them, and they're free. So they're included in the price of the house. So there are 2 treadleys, as we call them in Australia. If you want a motorbike, in our guidebook there will be a listing for a motorbike rental shop. We don't rent out motorbikes. We do have a car to rent, and that's $1,500 a day, and that's a Honda HRV, nice and clean and white, and you can rent that to drive around. There's a list also in the listing of all the places around, waterfalls, rafting. You can drive up to Khao Lak, which is only about 30 minutes up the road. So, I mean, it's a very, very quiet location, Thai Mueang, like really quiet. It's just a little Thai town. There's no nightclubs, there's no shopping centres. The reason you're going to go there is to just sit on the beach and do nothing, read a book. We've got a couple of nice comfortable beach chairs and a table and a little portable fan and a little bottle of mosquito repellent. Not that we see any mosquitoes up there for some reason. And you can just watch the sunset every night. Again, we'll set you up with that little kit, and you can just sit there for an hour and enjoy one of the best sunsets in the world. But there's not a lot really to do there, so you go there to relax. About 20 minutes north of Phuket. So hopefully that answers your question, J.R. Lindstrom. Hans Schellenberg says, I went to a Thai funeral, was quite an experience. Yes, they do tend to go on a bit. Martin Fabiano, hi Tim, what inspired you to move from Phuket to your location on Turtle Beach after so many years? What do you love the most about Thailand? A few questions there. And look, it's about 200 metres from Steve's location. When I met Steve, we caught up when he first got back to Thailand. And we had a coffee one day and we decided to sort of, do this Grumpy Old Men program. And Steve said, well, I'm not coming down to Phuket to do it. You're going to have to come up to where I live in Thai Mueang. Thai Mueang, Google. So I found it where it was and I thought, oh, okay, we'll get in the car and off we go. When I arrived there, my first thought was, why the hell have I never heard of this place? Now, just to the south, you've got Natai Beach, which is just over the bridge in Phuket. Very exclusive, very expensive beachside properties and hotels there. Very high so. And yeah, been to quite a few functions and thought, oh, this is even more expensive than Phuket. Then you go a bit further up the coast and you've got Khao Lak, which is just another beautiful stretch of beach. That's a little bit more gentrified, I suppose. But yeah, it's a sort of 5-star, 4-star, 5-star, a little bit expensive. Some very nice restaurants, a nice place to visit. So when I found in the middle this place called Thai Mueang, and it was cheap as chips. Nothing there to see except a long expanse of, well, deserted beach. Nobody really goes there. So I got the idea after I found these 2 sort of fishermen's cottages available for rent. I thought, yeah, I can rent these and I could do a bit of a makeover, given that I'd just sort of walked away from the Marigold Mountain project at the time. So it all fell into place. And then the last 2 months have just been a mad scurry and frenzy of painting. And I've been painting and covered in paint. And we've been retiling and we've new light fittings and gutting parts of the roof and replacing tiles and replanting the entire backyard, which was above me in just weeds. It took us a day to, 3 or 4 of us, a day to clear out the backyard. Oh my God. Because nobody's been there, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 years. So it's been quite a project, but been quite enjoyable. So, I fell in love with the place, I suppose you could say, and decided that I'm going to move there. Phuket, during my 12 years, has served me very well. I will be coming back at least once a week to catch up with my friends and do a macro sort of 1 week buy for the place, because no big supermarkets in Thai Mueang. And there are convenience stores, so you can get a snack, and there's some very, very good little restaurants along the beach road. But Phuket's just become, I don't know, a little bit busier than I sort of remembered it. And just the last 3 or 4 months, well, the last 2 months, driving up and back nearly every day, the traffic in Phuket has just been awful. So I'm just not going to miss the traffic. And because I do like moving around the island, traffic is a part of my life here. Up in Thai Mueang, there will be no problems with traffic. Ever. Maybe during the Turtle Festival it will be. Is the beach house also convenient with kids? Says Athena Sword. Look, I clicked the yes box. Not really suitable for under 2-year-olds. And look, there is a road directly out the front of the beach house. And, it's not a busy road, but people whip up and down there during the day. So I've said, I've made a note that you just need to be careful of the fact that there's a road out the front. And then 60 metres away is a beach, which at times, especially this time of the year, can be very dangerous. So you're more than welcome to bring kids, and we've got a kids nook with bean bags and a TV, so that you can set them up there with games or toys. There's no toys on the property, but it is suitable for kids. But you are going to need to keep an eye on them and maybe keep that front door closed because you don't want them getting out onto the road. So that's about all I can say with that. Nong Wua So, Sao, so Nong Wua So, I'm sorry I've forgotten how to say it again. I also have me to a funeral where you get the branch put in the water and pat the person's head and fill the poor guy's eye sockets up with water. Okay, there you go. Thank you very much. Hope you've made sure the termites don't come back. Peter finds your family. Yeah, we've got a contract now with a termite exterminator, and we've done both underground, we've treated all the timber, and we've also treated the whole roof space. So we've done quite a lot of work, and of course we will be on the lookout for termites in the future. But they've had a good munch at the timber in the house. Couple of doors we had to completely replace. Most of the structure is solid concrete, so no problems there. But yes, we're obviously keeping an eye on the termites. Sounds like a lovely place, says A Long. The back looks fantastic. Yeah, it's going to be a really nice place to sit and enjoy some quiet afternoons. And I've got a setting actually in the garden. I've got a setting undercover, like a lounge, and then I've got some sitting tables. So there's like 3 different places that you could enjoy depending on what you're doing. And the barbecue is also out there on the back veranda as well. Come back to Phuket to clean the pool. No. The pool's staying here at the house, and the new tenants are taking over the pool. They're paying me for the pool, and they'll be moving in, and they'll be looking after the pool. I'm just looking over there at the pool, so it'll be fine in the future. The beach houses have tried, buy, leased them, or still renting. Well, I'm leasing them. I've got a 10-year lease on them, so that's the situation. Ross, thank you for asking. Hans Schellenberg says, can you get fibre internet at the beach house, or is it more like dial-up? It's 500 up and down, 500 megabytes per second or something. Very fast, high-speed fibre internet from AIS. So, yes, got excellent internet there. When it comes to internet, Thailand is very fast and very cheap with internet. So what's that costing me per month? 500 up and down, which is pretty fast. That's costing me I think it's about 500 baht per month for the feed. Do you get surf there like in Phuket, says Chris Leon. If you can imagine the beaches at Mai Khao, that northern section of the beaches in Phuket, very similar with that nasty shore break. So beautiful beaches, just long straight beaches, but you sort of head offshore and it goes straight down. So the waves come all the way up to the shore and then crash on the shore. There's no like surf developing a couple of 100 metres off the beach and slowly rolling in. You get that more like Khao Lak up the coast a bit, but at Thai Mueang it's not the best swimming beach. During the high season weather, say sort of December through till April, May, I'm sure it'll be very, very swimmable and nice. But at the moment, yeah, with those waves crashing in with the monsoon, it's very nice to look at, very nice to enjoy and relax, but you probably wouldn't want to go swimming in there unless you were a particularly good swimmer. Seni Ann says, many years ago, a big explosion on the road in Thai Mueang area, hundreds killed, explosives carry truck overturned. I'll have to do some research about that. Neither Steve or I have heard about that particular story. But thank you very much. I know nothing. Hundreds killed. I'm sure I would have known about that. Anyway, thank you very much. Tony Fossey, question. Hi, Tim. It looks great. How noisy is it being so close to the beach? Well, you do hear the beach, and that's one of the reasons I love it. You hear the surf sort of crashing in. No particular noise. There's really never anybody on the beach. Maybe I've seen one or two people, but it's very, very quiet, which is why I like it. Now, there is, I'm sort of in a little fishing community, and the fishermen sometimes go out in the morning and they start up their long-tail boats. But with the concrete walls in the bedroom, you're not going to be hearing that. And road noise, there's a little bit of road noise, but it's not a busy road. Like, I don't know what the traffic count would be, like one car a minute or one motorbike a minute. It's not busy at all. It's not particularly noisy, no. Peter, find your family. In a few years, the beach will be called Tim Turtle Beach. I don't think so. Steve and I have had a quick chat about the talking up Turtle Beach. We don't want to talk it up. We don't want people to think that it's, the next Phuket or anything. It's nothing like that. It is a little quiet Thai town with an adjoining beach. To walk to the town takes 10 to 15 minutes. To get there in a car takes about 2 minutes. And you got the little township of Thai Mueang. But literally, people just drive through there on their way to Khao Lak. There's not a lot to do actually in the town. And beyond that, there's not that much accommodation. There's no hotels there. In the township there is a sort of a little boutique hotel, and there's a couple of little Airbnbs. But I suppose I've got the only 4 or 5 star type beachside accommodation in the area. Thai throughput much faster than Australia. Maybe talking about the internet. Yeah, very high speed here and very cheap. I was there when the dynamite truck went up there in Tung Map Prao. Oh, Steve, thank you very much. God, you'll be giving me marks for my performance, Steve. So you do know about it, something we can talk about in Grumpy Old Men. Think you were there. Okay, so it didn't happen that long ago. I don't know why I don't know about the story. 1991. Okay, so you're in. Thank you, Steve. You can tell us all about it. Steve knows about the truck. Many police killed also. People tried looting the truck. Cigarette and bang. Steve Ross is in the house. Yes, hands. Oh, Steve's in the house. Everybody's going to be talking about you, Steve. You've stolen my thunder. Steve Ross, that is not what happened to the dynamite truck. No looting, no cigarette. Those are old legends. So we'll be talking about the truck exploding for the rest of the program. Bill G says, when you are ready to change the topic from your rental, Oh, that's a bit nasty. Can you recommend or mention some expat health insurance companies to look into? Bill, around about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I had Max in, and we spoke all about mostly health insurance for the entire program. So if you go back on just go click live or playlists or something, go to the live and go back about 5 weeks, and all we spoke about for the whole program was health insurance. So I'd urge you to check that out to get those answers. Good morning, Tim. Is the water clean enough for a swim? At Thai Mueang, yes, it's very, very clean. This time of the year, as the rain starts pelting down again, you're not going to go for a swim there. It's pretty rough and not conducive to great swimming at this time of the year. Any Western food on offer in Turtle Beach? Burgers and fries? Asks Mile High. There's a little place called George's Pizza very close to me, and you can get a bit of Farang food, including a pizza. So yes, there is some Western food along Turtle Beach. Mostly some very, very good little Thai food eateries. Pisau, I think, is the best one, which is listed in the Michelin guidebook for Panga. The food there is very, very good. But there's 3 or 4 really good little Thai restaurants along the beach road, and a few little coffee shops as well. So it's great for just a quick visit, or you can come and stay for a bit longer. You have to ignore or delete much of the comments. Stephen Lance Stoll, I don't have time to sit and delete the comments, so everybody's saying hi to Steve. Oh, Steve, you're so popular. By the way, tomorrow we do have Steve and myself, Steve and his co-host, me, doing Grumpy Old Men. You can check out Steve's channel, Steve Ross, with an E. You'll find Steve. Question, Tim, says Daryl McGee. Not a YouTuber, so not sure if guests are regular subscribers on the show. Could they be involved in the show just to say hi live rather than only on the chat? Look, I've thought many times about sort of setting up a Zoom type software and getting people to log in to the Zoom channel, and then we can talk all together on the Zoom channel and feed it out live on YouTube. But this is why I used to have young Nick sitting next to me to sort of do all this type of stuff, because I couldn't do that and sort of talk to you and carry on a conversation at the same time. It's just, I'd need 18 hands. So it is something that I would like to do, but something that's not going to happen immediately. Hi, Tim. So you don't feel left out. Thank you very much. Sean YT, sorry, might have missed this, but have you purchased the properties? Is this through your business? No, I haven't purchased the properties. Nobody can purchase properties along the Thai Mueang beach because it's all basically Crown land. So some people have long-term sort of leasehold in the area, and then they lease it out to other people like me and other Thai people and other foreigners. But it's all sort of a little bit, unsure exactly what ownership rights are in the area. Pretty much you can't own property. Thais can't even own property along the Thai Mueang beach, and that's part of the reason that it hasn't been developed over the years. Heavy rain, says Gunnar Hopstead. No, not particularly heavy, and it's lightening off as we speak. I mentioned in the weather report today that we're going to have a few quick showers. 474 tuned in to say hi to Steve. Thank you very much. So I'm not sure how many people got tuned in, but thank you as I have a quick scratch. Okay, Long Beach at Kalong Andy. Okay, missed that one. Whenever Steve Ross with an E is mentioned, whatever flips or flops starts playing in my head. Damn, Tim, I have to say I like the B&B guest house, very cosy looking. Thank you, Kang the Digital Nomad. Another story I do need to mention. I'll get back to your comments in just a moment. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'm sorry if I've sort of yacked about one or two things more than I should have. This next story, we spoke about two people quitting, Lisa and also Pita, but also we've got the UFC has suspended Askhabov after his arrest in Thailand for alleged involvement in kidnapping and robbery. And Askhabov and his twin brother Kasan were arrested on September 5 in connection with an investigation into the robbery of an Italian man in Thailand. The Italian man stated that he was robbed of several items, including a Rolex watch, a Patek Philippe Nautilus watch, a Graf watch, friend of Private Wongsawan, a MacBook, iPhone, sunglasses, and approximately $43,000 in cash. And the police report discusses an alleged relationship of the Askhabov brothers to the three men who broke into the victims' homes, who were from Kazakhstan. So he's been suspended, and his matches suspended by the UFC. So, he's going to be spending a bit of time answering questions in front of a Thai judge at some stage soon. Tim needs his own theme song, says Hans. I love Steve's theme song. I haven't had a chance to sit down with him. Usually putting theme songs at the start of your YouTube videos isn't a good YouTube practice. I must mention that to Steve. So we used to have, when we did Good Morning Thailand back on the Tiger, we used to have that theme song. Got rid of the theme song, and people could engage with the content a lot faster. Then again, I love that introduction and the whole drone shot and everything. But I should mention that, Steve, when I see him, perhaps give it a bit of a quick edit. Steve's No Cigarettes, by the way, is going very, very well. So next time you're speaking to Steve, pat him on the back and say, good on you, and we support you keeping off the cigarettes. He's doing very well. Frederick Nyborg. I live on Koh Samui for 18 years and I plan to visit Thai Mueang next year. I've hundreds of fishing net floats I can give away. No lighters though. I walk to the beach every day. Yes. Either the fisherman will be happy for your donation, or Steve, who's got quite a few of those fishing floats, those net floats around the front of his house. Content is more important than a theme song. Keep doing what you're doing, Tim. Look, that's just general sort of YouTube practice, keeping the theme songs at the start as short as you can. Brett Border, no edit required for the intro for Steve's show. I love it as it is, and Steve is well entitled to leave it exactly where it is. But I'm just saying, generally, that's why you sort of don't see a lot of long theme songs at the start of YouTube videos. And with that, I think we've answered most of the questions that came in. I'll see if there's any other quick important ones. Going to Thailand for 6 weeks early December. Should we purchase visa extension now or wait to see if they extend it for 30 days travelling from the UK? I'd probably wait at least another 2 or 3 weeks to see if we hear anything about the extension of those visa waivers from 30 to 60 or 90 days. Won't really make much difference if you organise it now. Even if you wait till November, you'd still have time to apply for a visa if you want a 60-day tourist visa before you come to Thailand. And what is the logic in exempting China from payment of visa fee when they can afford to pay? Well, you could say that for the other 68 countries that already get visa waivers. So the Chinese and the Kazakhstanis the Kazakhs now offered the same visa waiver, at least for the next 5 months, as the other 68 countries. So I think your comment is a moot point. Do you follow or know any of the other YouTubers in Thailand other than Steve? I enjoy following Chris at Retired Working For You. Bill G, yes, I know Chris. I think I've met him, or we've interviewed him once, and I think I've met him socially once. Chad Burdett from, I forget the name of his channel, but Chad, everybody knows Chad. I know him quite well. I know I've socialised with him 3 or 4 times, and still love following his channel. He's quite a character, 6'2" and something from Atlanta. What is the name of his channel? Somebody's going to tell me in just a moment. But he's a great guy. Who else do I know that does YouTube? That other gentleman whose name I can't remember. I had him in my house here about a month ago, and we went and had lunch together. He's an Australian. I just cannot remember his name. Well, of course, Jet. Jet's got his own YouTube channel, so I know Jet very well. Yeah, so I mean, I do know a few YouTubers. Oh God, I'm trying to remember their names. The guy who used to work at Thai Visa and is now Dan. I know Dan very well too. Greetings from Samui, Tim. May I ask if your house is cat friendly? Says Bread Delicious. Well, you'd be sort of welcome to bring your cat, but acknowledging that I've got cats as well, and they may get to meet each other in the backyard. Don't think my cats are very friendly. So I'm not sure how that would go. Contact me if you wanted to discuss that. Bangkok Pat. Yes, I do know Bangkok Pat very well. He used to contribute to the Tiger. So I know Bangkok Pat. I've met him a few times. Quite an interesting and delightful gentleman. Can't see Sean and Tim getting along. Sean who? Walkabout Wayne in Chiang Mai. I've never met him. I'm sorry, I don't know his work. Sean and Tim. Who is Sean? So many content creators there are. Nobody. CB Media. Thank you very much to Wilbur Wilson for answering. That's Chad Burdett's CB. Chad Burdett. That's his channel, and it's very, very good. Recommended. Some of his, I think I prefer some of his earlier videos. But he's diversified a bit in the last year, and he's done a bit of travel, but very entertaining character. Can recommend CB Media. Natty, I don't know if Natty's got her own channel, but a very talented lady indeed. Vlogging a dead horse, Sean. I don't know his work, so whether we'd get along or not, I don't know. I do not like CB Media after he burned the motorcycle, says the insult investor. Yeah, we didn't burn it, he blew it up. And he got a lot of negative reaction. I thought it was just, I don't know, it's his motorcycle. He's well entitled to blow it up if he wants to. Not sure why people got so lemon-lipped over the incident, but yeah, a lot of people found that quite controversial. He just burned it for no reason and it ran. That's about right. Pretty hard to kill Thai motorcycles, I can tell you. Sean King is the man, says Chris. I don't know Sean King. I'll have to look him up after the program. 20 seconds in Thailand. I'm not going to be promoting any more of my competitors, but thank you very much for alerting me to them. And with that, after an hour and 9 minutes, most of it about Steve Ross. Thank you for watching, everybody. BTS contracts can be long and restrictive, limited personal freedom and demanding schedules. This is talking about K-pop contracts. No wonder they need a break for it after 7 years. Got to enjoy the money sometimes. Yes, take the money and run. I'd highly recommend that. And thanks for a great show, Tim. Take care, says Darryl Lamb. Thank you. I can hear the vacuum cleaner getting closer. So I'm heading up to Thai Mueang to do some stuff. Kimmo, thank you very much, a latecomer, but appreciate your support. Says Cafe. I'm going to be having a coffee. Just got some water in here. But I'll go to a coffee and I'll spend that money. Tomorrow we've got Grumpy Old Men with Steve Ross with an E from a very interesting location. So look forward to you tuning in to watching that. Monday to Friday we've got our weekday 15-minute news roundup. And I don't know what's going to happen next weekend because I am moving. I might have to pre-record something. I'm not sure if I'll have time for a live show, but we'll all find out next week, won't we? But I really appreciate you dropping in. Really appreciate your support. Hopefully you know a little bit more about what's happening around Thailand after the last hour. And really appreciate you dropping in. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.